Trudeau does his best Chevy Chase impression at the Three Amigos summit, protesting against U.S. protectionist policies. Canada and the Asian bloc to begin free trade talks in an effort to diversify from China. This is the Great White North Report. So let's stay here with the Canadian-Asian bloc. Now there is a virtual meeting going on to begin free trade talks in an effort to shift supply chains away from China and to other countries. So it is a free trade talk with about 10 or 11 different countries, and it's led by International Trade Minister Mary Ning. And this Southeast trade nation known as ASEAN, and it's a 10-country bloc. Canada wants to open up a free trade zone because it is a huge market, and we want to deepen our economic relations with the Indo-Pacific region, driving economic growth, and get rid of the supply chain bottlenecks that plagued global trade during the CCP pandemic. So they want to diversify the supply chain, increase trade and investment, and reinforce Canada and ASEAN's shared commitment to open markets and rule-based trade. This comes after our experience in China over the last 10 years. In communist-held China, there is no such thing as a rule-based trade. Many things are arbitrary, as we found out firsthand from the arrest of Huawei executive Meng Wanzhou, the hostage taking of Kovrig and Spavor, as well as the death sentence on Schellenberg, and China and the Communist Party's attempts to block trade with Canada in order to force us to release this chip with no strings attached. China had put bans on Canadian canola, Canadian beef, and Canadian pork. Even lobsters from the Maritimes were halted. So we already have preferred access to Brunei, Malaysia, Singapore, and Vietnam. Vietnam is the new China, as companies are pulling out of communist-held China and going to communist-held Vietnam, because the Vietnamese don't piss off anyone internationally as much. So we're looking to increase exports of goods and services to the region by 13.3%. So we're going to provide goods and services like Vietnam will provide manufacturing, and places like Philippines will provide agriculture. Something along those lines. Because we do supply manage our dairy, poultry, and egg markets, and it comes into conflict with the European Union and the United States, because we do protect those markets. We do subsidize the dairy industry to a certain extent. So it is time to wean ourselves away from China, as it's proven that our over-reliance on trade with China, we encountered problems gaining access to personal protective equipment and vaccines during the pandemic. Well, that was Trudeau's own fault, because he sent all our existing stocks of the PPE to China to help them combat the virus they created. And then when we got it, when it came to Canada, we had to buy it back from China, because that's where it's all made, and a lot of it was defective or of lesser quality. And then the vaccines, Trudeau, being the idiot that he is, tried to partner up with China when we could have did the same with Johnson & Johnson and Pfizer and all the other ones. And the Communist Party blocked access to their vaccine information for us. We were scrambling. Trudeau's China vaccine policy set us back by about 6 months. Cost lives. So it's a good thing that we're trying to get away from China in this case. But now Trudeau, he's in the United States right now, Washington. He's at the Three Amigos summit. He's the Chevy Chase. I guess Biden would be the Steve Martin, and over the Mexican president he'd be the Martin Short of the group. If anyone remembers that old movie, The Three Amigos, from the 80s. Basically, Trudeau's there to make an aggressive push against one of Biden's signature protectionist policies. So it contains a new electric vehicle incentive that would wreak havoc on Canada's auto sector and violate the new NAFTA. Basically what it is, that any car that is completely made in the United States will get a rebate. $12,500 rebate. The vehicle has to be produced in the United States. So Canada feels that it'll cost us jobs here in Canada, because American companies are going to shift production of certain components of vehicles back over to the United States. If that happens, then Canada just puts an import tariff on any vehicle sold from the United States into Canada, and start looking at other suppliers. Or making our own vehicle would be nice. Why do we need all these foreign vehicle makers? And the proposal amounts to a greater penalty of the Canadian auto sector than former President Trump's threat of a 25% tax on Canadian cars. See, Trump wasn't all that bad compared to Biden and the Democrats. Hey, we have incentives too to go to electric cars, but not if they're Canadian made or American made. It doesn't matter as long as it's an electric car, which are prohibitively expensive in this area. It's not even worth it. Also, pipelines and vaccines are on the agenda. Future of Line 5 pipeline, which transports oil to eastern Canada. Michigan is trying to shut down a portion of the line that runs under the Great Lakes. Canada wants to keep the pipeline flowing. Recently invoked the 1977 treaty in a bid to preserve the status quo. For a guy who's trying to do all this climate change and carbon emissions, and he's got an environmental minister who's against any kind of pipeline, he's sure trying to protect this one. Because let's face it, right now we do need some pipelines. And Trudeau and his Mexican counterpart, Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador, will make an announcement about sharing vaccines that were donated by the United States. They plan to share those with other countries in Latin America and the Caribbean. Oh boy, we buy the vaccines for other countries. I guess that's not a bad thing to do. Makes us look nice. Even better if we could produce the vaccines ourselves, though. And Canadians out there, let me know what you guys think about the ASEAN trade thing and about the Three Amigos meeting. Leave comments in the comment section, hit the like button, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and until next time, this has been the Great White North Report.